A comprehensive and complete account of World War II. World War II was the Second World War between 1939 and 1945. September 9, 1939 to September 10, 1945. In this full-scale war, most of the world's countries, including all the great powers, faced each other in the form of two military alliances, the Axis powers and the Allied powers. The aircraft played a major role in this war. It made possible the strategic bombing of population centers and the use of two nuclear weapons, which had never been used in any war before. It was the deadliest conflict in history, killing between 70 and 85 million people, most of them civilians. Millions died in genocides, including the Holocaust, as well as from starvation, mass murder, and disease following the defeat of the Axis powers. Germany, Austria, and Japan were occupied, and war crimes trials were held against German and Japanese leaders. The start of World War II is generally considered to have been on 1 September 1939, when Germany invaded Poland, prompting France and Britain to declare war on Germany. The Germans had managed to conquer much of Europe by mid-1941 through a series of military offensives and treaties after the fall of France in mid-1940 and the outbreak of hostilities in North and East Africa. On June 22, 1941, the Axis powers launched a massive offensive against the Soviet Union in Operation Barbarossa, opening the Eastern Front with the Soviet Union's formal entry into the war. In December 1941, the Japanese surprise attack on Pearl Harbor led to the United States' open entry into the conflict and its declaration of war against the Japanese Empire. Following these events, the remaining Axis powers, as allies of the Japanese Empire, also declared war on the United States. The Axis advance was halted by the defeat of the Japanese Empire at the Battle of Midway, the defeat of Germany and Italy at the Second Battle of El Alamein in Egypt, and the Battle of Stalingrad in the Soviet Union. These events took the initiative away from the Axis powers and forced them to adopt a defensive posture, responding only to those strategies of the other side on all fronts. In 1944, the Allies invaded German-occupied France in the Normandy campaign, and Soviet counterattacks were able to regain lost territory. In 1944-1945, the Japanese Empire was forced to retreat from much of its occupied territory in central and southern China and Burma. The Allies were also able to force the Japanese Navy to retreat and take control of strategic islands in the Western Pacific. The war in Europe ended with the invasion of Germany by the Western Allies from March 22 to May 8, 1945. As a result of the invasion, Nazi rule ended and Germany was occupied by its enemies. Adolf Hitler, the German leader, committed suicide before being captured by the invaders. After the Allies announced their surrender terms on July 26, 1945, Japan refused to accept the outcome of the war, and the United States dropped atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki on August 6 and 9, 1945. The Soviet Union, which had previously adhered to the Non-Aggression Pact, declared war on Japan and invaded Manchuria. After Japan surrendered on August 15, 1945, the Allied victory in Asia was complete. After the war, the Nuremberg trials were held to investigate the damages and war crimes committed by Germany and its allies. World War II transformed the social structure and power structure of the world, and the United Nations was established to prevent such events from occurring. After the end of World War II, the United States and the Soviet Union fought a Cold War for nearly half a century as Europe struggled to recover from the losses and damage of World War II. The influence of European powers in the world diminished, and their African and Asian colonies became independent. On the 1st of September 1939, Germany launched the invasion of Poland. having prepared several false flag operations, including Operation Gleiwitz, as a prelude. The Battle of Westerplatte is often cited as the first battle of the war. Britain and France gave Germany an ultimatum to cease its military operations. On the 3rd of September, when the ultimatum was ignored, France, Britain, Australia, and New Zealand declared war on Germany. South Africa joined the coalition on the 6th of September and Canada on the 10th of September. These countries did not provide any aid to Poland, except for a brief skirmish in Saarla. Indeed, the Allies established a naval blockade of Germany, aimed at crippling the economy and increasing the cost of the war. Germany responded to the blockade by attacking Allied warships and merchant ships with U-boats. This German action led to the Battle of the Atlantic.